My sister looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're not family anymore." My parents stayed silent even though I had flown for hours just to attend their anniversary. They wouldn't even let me step inside. My heart was racing, my chest tight, and my mind screamed for some kind of reaction. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I chose something else. And 1 hour later, everything changed. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, or dismissed by the people who should have loved you, hit that subscribe button right now, like this video, and stick around. You're about to see a story of quiet revenge, clever strategy, and ultimate vindication. Let's dive in. Growing up, I always felt like the invisible one in my family. My sister had always been their favorite, confident, charming, and everyone's darling. I was quieter, more independent, the kind of person who followed her own path. And that path wasn't always approved of. So when I decided to attend my parents' anniversary after flying across states, I expected some recognition, maybe a warm smile or at least a polite greeting. Instead, I was met with silence. A door literally shut in my face. And then, to my horror, my sister stared me down and said those words, "You're not family anymore." My chest tightened, my vision blurred slightly. Anger, sadness, and disbelief collided inside me. I could feel the blood pounding in my ears. My parents, my own parents, just stood there, not saying a single word. I took a deep breath. I could have screamed. I could have cried. But I didn't. Something inside me clicked. I realized that reacting with emotion wouldn't give me. Just to sit would only validate their cruelty. I needed a plan. A calculated response that would speak louder than any shouting could. I stepped back, held my composure, and said quietly, "If this is how you all feel, then I'll leave. But don't think I'll let this go unnoticed." And then I left, calm, poised, determined. My sister's smirk faltered slightly. She didn't expect me to walk away without a scene. Once outside, I took a moment to collect myself. I called my best friend and explained everything, pacing back and forth on the sidewalk, feeling the rush of both adrenaline and fury. I realized one thing: I couldn't change their minds today, but I could change the narrative tomorrow. Over the next few hours, I gathered information. I remembered the subtle slights over the years, how my parents had always favored my sister, how she had manipulated them with her charm, and how my own achievements were minimized or ignored. I had been dismissed for years, and now they had overstepped. This wasn't just a personal betrayal, it was public, humiliating, and calculated. I refused to let it stand. I started with a simple, quiet step. I posted a heartfelt message on social media, something that looked casual but highlighted my life, achievements, and contributions in a way that couldn't be ignored. I tagged some mutual friends, a few colleagues, but nothing obvious. Almost immediately, I began to notice subtle reactions. Friends reaching out privately, colleagues expressing admiration, and even distant family members questioning the fairness of my treatment. Word was spreading. My silence had become louder than any shouting match could have been. About an hour after I left the anniversary, I received an unexpected call. My parents, close friends, were asking for clarification about what had happened. They were confused, even concerned, because the story they were hearing from my sister didn't match reality. I realized in that moment how powerful calm and strategy could be. By not reacting with anger, by documenting my perspective subtly, I had allowed the truth to emerge on its own. The key was patience and precision, not confrontation. By the evening, my sister's carefully crafted narrative was unraveling. Friends and extended family were reaching out to me privately, offering support and sympathy. My sister, who had tried to isolate me, was now facing questions, skepticism, and doubt. And my parents, they were forced to acknowledge my presence, my efforts, and my resilience. My 1 hour delay had turned into an unexpected leverage point. Their silence had created my stage, and I had used it to regain control. I can still feel it, the cool airport air on my face, my palms sweaty yet steady, my heartbeat echoing as I walked to the cab. I could hear the faint buzz of notifications on my phone, each message confirming that my quiet defiance was working. The anger that had initially consumed me transformed into a sharp, clear focus. I wasn't reacting blindly anymore. Every thought, every decision was intentional, precise, calculated. Betrayal has a way of sharpening your senses. I noticed everything: the timing of messages, the tone of friends' voices, the subtle shifts in my sister's social presence. I was no longer powerless. I was observing, planning, and reclaiming my narrative. By the next day, my sister's story had crumbled publicly. Friends and family who had initially supported her started questioning her version. Private messages poured in from relatives expressing regret for not acknowledging my side. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. The calm, composed way I handled the betrayal had already done more damage than confrontation ever could. My sister, once smug and confident, was left facing the consequences of her own behavior. My parents, silent witnesses, could no longer ignore the reality of my achievements, my maturity, and my integrity. Justice had been served not with a loud scene, but with quiet, undeniable evidence of truth. I learned a powerful lesson that day. Sometimes the strongest response isn't anger or revenge, it's calm, calculated, and strategic action. Betrayal and injustice may sting, but handling them with composure often creates the most lasting impact. Have you ever been underestimated, betrayed, or dismissed and turned it into victory? Share your story in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a reminder that calm strategy can be the most powerful form of justice.